Hey everyone, it's Ashley from Wholesaling Out of the Box, and today I am joined by Sean Bowen, Kaylee Body, Cameron Peters, Jacob McPherson, and Luna Ankrum.
Income.
Ankrum, sorry.
No, you're good.
I did this to Kaylee too when she first came on. And we're back, bitches. Like, So we took some time off for the podcast. The last time we recorded was either end of December, beginning of January. So it's been a little while. And it's now toward the end of May, almost Memorial Day. And things have changed. So we figured why not go through and look at our goals from 2021 that we made at the end of 2020 and our long-term goals and see what has changed in this time frame. Because I know a lot of mine changed. But yeah, anyone else want to say anything about us being back? I mean, who can beat we're back, bitches? But like, I'll give you guys a shot.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, this is one of the things that you started and we got going and you got everybody to commit to it. And every now and then I'll go back and listen to some of our recordings. And it's just crazy to see from when we started to where we got to and experience and things we talk about. I just think it's awesome. Like, this thing's been really cool to go back and see ourselves, much less maybe what other people have learned from us. So I think it's freaking awesome. I'm digging it. I'm pumped. Let's go.
All right. Awesome. So does anyone want to go first for their 2021 goals? Well, rewind just a little bit. Sorry, guys. You may notice a new face down, at least in my screen. It's the bottom right corner. I don't know where it is on your recording, but this is Luna. She is our new marketing coordinator, and we're kind of throwing her to the wolves now. So hopefully you'll get to know her a little bit over the next few episodes.
Yeah.
Luna, do you have anything you want to say?
I'm just very excited to get into a new niche of marketing. I like to be able to apply what I've been doing to something completely new. So this is just very interesting going forward, and I'm very much enjoying being thrown to the wolves. So let's go.
That's good. All right, cool. So did anyone want to go first for the goals?
I'll go first.
Okay. So, Kaylee, do you have the sheet pulled up?
I do.
Okay. Do you want to talk about what your goals were and how they might have changed? And then what your new kind of goals for the next 6 months are moving forward?
Yes. So originally my yearly growth goal was 65,000, and I am not on track for that at this moment. But big things are about to happen. You could get closer to that. And then we had WWOB goals. We did start that. We've had a few events that will continue to grow, especially now that we have Luna on board to help with marketing. That would also help bring in the goal of, I had a goal of 60 new WOB subscribers for the year. My personal contribution to that is not on track. And be more sociable and active online. And I had set a goal for 2 videos for me actually doing videos. And yeah, I'm just not a video person. So I've been more active, but just not in video. Flips, I haven't started flips, but I will get to that this year. One goal I did accomplish was getting my broker's license. So I could check that one off.
Whoop, whoop.
Yes. And getting my first rental property. So still time for that as well. Those are my goals.
So then what do you kind of see things looking like for the next 6 months? I know like you got your broker's license, and so we're working on opening a brokerage.
Yes.
So what are your other goals?
My other goals are still the same, just the numbers change. So like the number of flips, the number of bringing on new members to Wholesaling Out of the Box. So my goals haven't changed, just the adjustment to the numbers of how many or how much.
Okay. And before we move on, I'm actually kind of curious, how many of you guys have looked at this since we did this in December, January?
Not I.
So Sean has. But maybe that's something that we as a business should be doing more often, is checking in on these, because I think I looked at them and I was like, whoa, I don't even remember these. So good thing we're doing this. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead.
Oh,
Oh,
or Jake.
I was going to say, go ahead, Cam. All right. Okay. So I actually have looked at the goals, but I haven't looked at this spreadsheet. But everything that I do is written down in the good old bullet journal, because that thing runs my life. So yes. So I am somewhat familiar with where I'm at here. So for those who don't know, my goals for the year were $100,000 gross profit for the year, 2 fix and flips, as well as purchasing or taking down 3 buy and holds with any method. I was thinking initially it was going to be the Burr method, but with any method for that matter. Wholesale deals are a little behind, but we've seen some good profits come out of those, so I'm not overly concerned just yet. We'll see what that number ends up getting up to. And we're doing a lot with new systems and playing with new ideas for getting leads into the pipeline. So been focusing a lot on the systems and processes lately. And I think that we can all agree some of the changes that are being made on that note are definitely going to lead to more leads, more qualified leads specifically into the pipeline. So really looking forward to seeing how that plays out, and that should allow us to really start to get a hell of a lot closer to these numbers for sure. As far as fix and flips are concerned, I'm going to go ahead and scratch those off the plate for the year. And the main reason for that is just mainly because of the craziness in the market right now. Definitely not trying to go and get involved in anything that is potentially going to be underwater, depending on whether or not the market flips. And in addition to that, it's also a matter of time as well. So focusing more on the wholesaling side, more on the lead source side, lead generation, joint ventures, things along those lines, as opposed to trying to figure out what it looks like to be a full-time project manager, which is something that I'm not interested in doing anytime soon. As far as buy and holds go, that's really just a matter of looking at the right deals. We've seen a handful, we've analyzed a handful, and just not something that I've been interested in taking down at this particular point in time. So hopefully more will come of that in the next 6 months.
Cool. Cam, did you want to go now?
Sure. Hey guys. So looking up here at the goals here, the first one was a company goal to bring on 2 more full-time junior acquisition manager. So just kind of had that initial conversation about moving toward that maybe toward the end of the summer. So I'm not sure that we'll finish out with 2 for the year, but definitely looking to finish out with 1 for the year for sure, and kind of work toward that as we move through the summer. The next one was $120,000 gross profit. I'm a little behind the curve on there, but it's doable. The curve is attainable. So still grinding toward that. I'm not changing that. 3 buy and holds. This one might change. I don't know. But I know we're going to talk about this market. This market is crazy. I've been looking for stuff for months, and I wouldn't say I've given up, but I don't know how you make a stride in this market to purchase something that's on market, and just our off market opportunities haven't quite fit where I wanted to be. So I'm not sure, but no progress there, but not to any fault of anybody or anything except the market itself. I would say it's really holding us back on bringing down those buy and holds, at least from on market. And then we got moving into Richmond. So we're up in Richmond. We've closed our first deal in Richmond. We got another deal under contract in Richmond. So that one's cruising. And then we got some JBs per month and the WOB subscribers per month. I'm not sure how many WOB subscribers I brought in, honestly. Maybe we should look back at those numbers. But I don't think it's 5 per month. This much I know. So maybe got to step that up a little bit. But I don't see a whole lot of huge changes here, other than might not be able to bring down these buy and holds I'm looking for this year based on this market. Definitely positions to do it, but the market's insane. And leaving it at that, because we're going to talk about the market. So I don't want to start talking about the market. Screw up the process, man.
Yeah. Stay on track.
I can see Ashley's eyes just like, Hold on.
I'll give you some rant time in the next one.
Go.
Don't do it.
All right, Sean.
All right. So first of all, I'll make sure I'm looking at the right sheet. If I was following y'all, I've got the SCIG long-term goals, and then you've got the 2021 goals in general, right?
Yeah, you didn't fill any out for the 2021 goals.
Yeah.
But you did have one thing in your long-term goals under 1 year.
Yeah. So that was getting into the lending space. And we have built it out, but we haven't been able to solidify a loan yet because I got put in a really awakening moment of when you do get in the lending space, what you can legally and can't legally do. So the last thing I want to do is get on that line of like, hey, you're not doing business the right way / you're legally doing this. So I think we've got a little bit more headway to understanding it and understanding the lending, but we've got people that we've underwritten some stuff. We haven't actually done the loan, but yeah, there was a lot of learning, especially on that side of the house. So yeah, we're not there yet, but it's definitely getting strides to it because man, what a lot to soak up in less than 6 months, how long it's been since we've done these things. But like, man, there was a lot of learning and still happening every time I get on there about something with this. So hopefully we're going to have something with maybe two. We're looking at one actually right now that we're hopefully looking at solidifying and actually doing. So that will get us our first one and then keep moving, make it happen. But yeah, the lending space is not what everybody thinks it is, especially if you're the one being responsible for it. So got to be careful. Got to be careful. If anything I've learned is being careful.
And Sean, where can people go if they are in the like Hampton Roads, Richmond area and they're looking for a lender? Like we've got some pretty good terms going.
Yeah.
And if they want to submit for a proof of funds or for a specific deal to be underwritten, where can they go for that?
So you guys can see us and visit us and learn more about that at thecoastalcapitalgroup.com. Tons of information over there. We've got this fancy little calculator that tells you, what your loan's going to be, what it pays back, and then gives you kind of like a loan to value situation. And then we're very put together on if you need proof of funds, how we do that, what's required. And then of course, if you want to submit a deal to us to review, we've got a flipping fun application. You can go over there and check that out. We've also got a transactional funding space where you can submit that deal and we can give you funds for transactional funding. So yeah, a lot of information built over there. Cam helped build that out. The rest of the team helped build that out. And now we're getting some traction for people actually viewing the site and using it. I think the calculator is getting a lot of action lately if we go over and see that thing. So really cool. So if you guys are interested in loans, if you're here in the Hampton Roads area, check out our terms and check out what we do. And again, we'll be interested in looking at a deal and see if we can fund it for you.
Okay.
I say we'll beat the terms on the street.
Yeah, for sure.
We do have really good terms.
Let's just leave it at that. Go check out the website. We beat the terms on the street.
Yeah,
we beat the terms on the street. You need to put that logo, that saying, and just underneath the Cam Peters.
Yep.
We beat the streets. I like it.
Sorry, it just made me think, would you rather people like go out and learn lending from you or learn it on the streets? Like
it's a tough world, man.
Yeah, right? In this lending world. Okay, so my goals for the year. So one of my really big goals for the year that I talked about for like a year leading up to it was hiring a full-time marketing person. And I did it. So that's Luna. We talked about her in the beginning. I'm just like, that was one of my big things. I was like, we need a marketing person for everything we're doing. So super excited to have Luna on. She's onboarded, ready to go, doing all the stuff that I no longer wanted to do and doing a fantastic job at it. So I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, so that was like my big goal for this year. A couple of other ones were benefits package for both salary and commission employees. I've got it figured out for the salaried employees, still working on the commission employees. If anyone knows anything about like health insurance and independent contractors, let me know because it's a maze. And then my other one was all about wholesaling out of the box. So I wanted to make a net profit of $75,000 this year. And I also wanted to tweak the program, which if you guys have listened to some of our other episodes, you'll probably know that we did change the program completely. It's now a monthly subscription-based program as opposed to an upfront kind of mastermind fee, larger mastermind fee of $4 or $5 grand. So because of that and how we're restructuring some of these deals, that 75 number is going out the window. I'm not really sure what my goal is now for that. It's still kind of new, but I think I'm going to lower it probably to like 50-ish, 50,000. Because I think that's more attainable with where we're at and what we're doing with the subscription-based program. And I mean, 50 grand of net profit is nothing to sneeze at. So that, and just like, if you look at all of the stuff that we did more toward the beginning of the year with the WOB program and how that's changed and all of the things that are available if you join, it's just crazy how different the whole thing is than what it was 6 months ago even, but especially this time last year. So that's my kind of goal update. So Luna, we're gonna go over to you and you can tell us what your 21 goals are for the rest of the year.
So I've been thinking about it, and I think on my end, I really want to, this is gonna get like dorky for a second, so sorry, but I really want to be able to like see the engagement rate on our like posts, our social posts go up. So I want to be able to track that through the year and see that get to a pretty good rate. I would say I'd want that to get to like 15% or 20%, because even that's a lot, but just kind of push. As well as I'd like to see that feedback of just the conversion rate go up as well, just to have it to where we can watch the fact that these, like the posts, the ads, all of the things that are being pushed out turns the conversions where we want them to be. And those are just like the hard and fast like number set goals. If I can see those things growing, those percentages growing, that's really great, because then I can actually watch that and look at the numbers and like nerd out about the data. I'm all about that. So that would be nice on my end to have that. But those are like my really like hard and fast ones, just watching those and being able to see how that goes. That's the way I can track what I'm doing and see how it's affecting.
Awesome. And how have you liked working with us so far? Feel free to like give us all the praise.
Yeah, I was going to, don't worry. No roasting today. No, you're all right.
No, we saved that for special episodes.
Yeah. No, it's just been very great. I very much like the way that everything is kind of set up in terms of it's not this very overbearing, oh, you have to do this, this, and this. It's a very, we have a very good environment for just brainstorming. There's not like you said, there's no judgment with the brainstorming. It's very open-ended and you can let your ideas flow, and you know that you're not going to get like any sort of like aggressive pushback. You're just going to get that feedback that helps the idea keep being figured out and like keep going where it needs to go. So maybe you throw out something that maybe doesn't work, but then someone else thinks of something off of that does work. And then so everything is helpful in the long run. And so that's the best kind of environment to really be able to create and develop ideas, especially. And that's kind of something I really value, is creativity and just having those open-ended conversations.
Wonderful. Okay, so that's kind of it about our goals. I guess the only other thing I wanted to say before I open it up to the floor is that you saw a lot of us who are not on track to meet our goals or have changed our goals significantly. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, one of the best things, again, that we have not been doing that we should be doing is really looking back at these regularly to see, okay, is this even something I want to do anymore? Because some of the things that we might have wanted to do, like just for me on the wholesaling out of the box side, just does not apply anymore because of how we changed up our program. So being sure to check in and see where you're at, how you're doing. Is it even worth still trying to accomplish this, or is there something else you can be putting your time to? So I'll open the floor now. Does anyone else have anything they want to say about your goals or goal setting in general?
Yes.
Okay. No?
So, no. I think that this is a really good talk right? People talk about setting goals, people talk about hitting those goals, and then people don't really talk about why or how you didn't. So this is a big piece of this. Like, what changed during what we originally wanted to do, sitting in that room, talking about it, writing it out, and then what kept us from hitting it? Multiple things, right? Life, the economy, the everything that was happening this past year to this coming year. Like, there's a lot of things that get thrown at you that you can't control. And I think that's really good for anybody listening to this, is like you said, Ashley, to go back and check in on it. Like, is this something that was out of your control that you couldn't do, that stopped you? Or is it something that you just let go to wayside, right? Like kicking the can down the street, not paying attention to it, that kind of stuff. So I think this is really good, right? I've seen this twice. I've gone back to this list twice. And I think my biggest pushback was just for me, like what my goal was on this lending space thing is crazy to think that it was so easy to jump into and so fast and like easy to do, right? And then you learn these rules and guidelines that you can and can't do, and it really puts you in like a pinch situation, right? Because it's money and it's securities and it's these things that you legally can and can't do, and it's just like, wow, I thought this was just, hey, I borrow $100,000, I pay some of my interest on it, and I put it back. Like, no, you are wrong. It's not how this works. So yeah, I think for me, I recognized to where it was something that stopped me from doing what I wanted to do, and not because something I couldn't. It was just something I wasn't aware of. And when you're learning something new, it causes different things to happen. So it's good to go back and check in and see what happened and why. And that's I recognize that by going back and looking at these. It's like, man, I couldn't obtain what I wanted to do, but why? So I think that if anybody else can feed off of that, that's kind of what I was going for.
Yeah, absolutely. I know for me, there are, 2 life changes that have affected my goals. And then, the brokerage that has changed some of my goals as well, and focus. So yes, definitely checking in and making the adjustments when necessary. I completely agree with that.
Well, and I wanted to talk about the brokerage with you too, Kaylee, because if you like look at our list, the brokerage is like her second to last item. And so then I don't know what happened in your head or in life that just made that like, oh, actually, I want that to be at the top.
Correct.
Yeah. And so I think I was kind of surprised when all of a sudden I think it was like the end of February, beginning of March, you were like really going for it. And I was like, whoa, I thought this was like one of the lower tier stuff. And it changed a lot of how, like what I was doing, what you were doing. It took you a little bit away from the wholesale side, just like for logistics and everything. And so, but that's a goal, and that's just changing it how you want to be able to live your life and make money. And like, makes total sense.
And with the brokerage, that and wholesaling or cash offers actually will go hand in hand, as more real estate brokerages are offering the cash offers, like Keller Williams and Zillow doing their own little thing. Redfin has their own. So more and more brokerages are going in that direction anyway. Mm-hmm. So they kind of work together.
Cool. Anything else from anyone? All right.
I think it all just flexed, and I'm behind everybody there. Not by anybody's, like I said, not by anybody's slacking off on anything. It's just things happen, things change, and like Ashley said, that's okay. Mm-hmm. Been major shifts, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty hard on myself and my goals, and I got to remind myself that these were things beyond my control. I can't control the market. It's very frustrating.
All right. Awesome. So that's it for this episode, guys. Like I said, we're back, and you should be hearing us every week in your podcast feed on YouTube or wherever else. We're still trying to figure all of that out. Luna's got ideas, and we'll start posting and all that jazz. So thank you again for listening. You can find us at www.wholesalingoutofthebox.com and on any of our social media pages. We're on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. So thanks, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.